Imagine you're sitting around a fire 200,000 years ago. You're surrounded by your tribe. You've had a long day of foraging. You're tired, and you're looking at the person next to you. In the modern world, this is where we'd recap our day. We'd complain about the weather, tell a joke, or plan for tomorrow. But in this moment, there are no words. No hello, no I'm hungry, no did you see that leopard? Just a series of grunts, gestures, and intense eye contact. For 99% of our history as living things, the world was a very quiet place. But then, something shifted. A biological glitch happened that changed everything. It turned us from just another primate into the most dominant force on Earth. To understand when we started talking, we first have to look at why we couldn't talk for millions of years. If you look at a chimpanzee, their voice box, the larynx, is positioned high up in their throat. This is great for breathing and eating at the same time without choking, but it's terrible for making complex vowel sounds. At some point in our evolution, our larynx dropped. This gave us a massive resonance chamber in our throats, allowing us to manipulate air into the sounds we recognize as speech. But there was a weird, almost poetic cost to this. Humans are one of the only species that can easily choke to death on their own food. Evolution literally decided that being able to talk was more important than the risk of suffocating during dinner. Archaeologists look for one tiny, horseshoe-shaped bone to prove this: the hyoid bone. It's the only bone in your body not connected to another bone. It just floats in your throat. In 1989, researchers found a 60,000-year-old Neanderthal hyoid bone that looks almost identical to ours. This suggests that the hardware for speech was ready much earlier than we thought. But having the throat for speech isn't enough. You need the brain for it. Scientists have identified a specific gene called FOXP2. When this gene is mutated in modern humans, it causes severe speech and language disorders. When we look at the genetic record, we see that the human version of FOXP2 likely stabilized around 200,000 years ago, right around the time Homo sapiens first appeared. But here's the weird part. We found that same gene in Neanderthals. This means that when we encountered Neanderthals in the wild, we might not have been met with ooga-booga grunts. We might have been met with a complex, deep-voiced greeting. We weren't just the only species that could talk. We were part of a world that was suddenly becoming very loud. So, why did we do it? Why did we start naming things? One of the most fascinating theories is that language replaced social grooming. Monkeys and apes spend hours every day picking bugs off each other. It's how they build trust and say, "I've got your back." But as human tribes got bigger, we didn't have enough hours in the day to groom everyone. We needed a way to groom multiple people at once. Language is essentially vocal grooming. Instead of picking a flea off your friend, you tell them a story. You share information about who is trustworthy and who isn't. This is why, to this day, an estimated 60% of human conversation is just gossip. Who is doing what and with whom? We didn't start talking to discuss philosophy. We started talking to keep the tribe together. Once we started talking, we became unstoppable. Language allowed us to pass down knowledge. Instead of every generation having to reinvent the wheel or the sharpened stone spear, we could just explain it. We could describe things that weren't there, like the spirit of the forest or the plan for next month. We used words to build myths, then religions, then nations. Today, we take our voices for granted. We send thousands of texts and speak millions of words without thinking about the massive evolutionary sacrifice of our choking-prone throats or the 200,000 years of biological fine-tuning that made it possible. The next time you're chatting with a friend, remember, you're participating in the single most important technology in human history. You are history, and every word you speak is the echo of a silence that was finally broken 200,000 years ago.